Hello and welcome everyone to this video on optimizing SAP Workflow Performance by ZaranTech. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our ZaranTech YouTube channel and hit the bell icon to never miss any update from us.
So, hello everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss the concept of optimizing workflow performance. Now, see, what is the meaning of optimizing workflow performance here? So, workflow we already know that workflow is mainly used to automate the business process in SAP. And the best example that we can take for this concept is that for your leave request approval, you are writing, you have created a workflow and which you have sent to your reporting manager by creating a user decision step type. And what your reporting manager is going to see here, he will see user ID name, which will be passing via the parameters. And your reporting manager, based on that particular fact, is going to decide whether or not he should assign you he should allow your leave. So if suppose now, take a scenario. Your reporting manager is on leave, and you have raised this, you have triggered this workflow to him, and was on leave, so he did not got time to approve it. So what we do in case of our workflow, we mainly may automate the process so that after 24 or 48 hours, if my RM is not approving it, then in that situation, the leave request would be approved automatically. So this kind of thing we can use in case of optimizing workflow performance. And we are going to see it in a detail in this video. So let's start with the introduction part. So optimizing workflow performance involves improving the efficiency and speed of process within a system. So it involves improving the efficiency and speed of process within a system. It is an important concept that it involves the improving the efficiency and speed of process within a system. And key factors include resource management, process design, automation, as I already discussed it with you, and monitoring of your workflow. So let's start with the key concept here. The first one is workflow analysis. So identify bottlenecks. So determine which part of the workflow slow down the process. We are required to determine that which part of our workflow will be slowing down our process so that we can work on it. Then we have to assess resources. So ensure adequate resources are available where needed. So we will be ensuring the adequate resources are available where needed. Then the second one is process design. So for process design, we'll simply process it. So we will be removing the unnecessary steps here. So unnecessary steps should be removed for optimizing our workflow. Then we need to standardize the procedures. So create uniform processes to reduce variability. So we are required to create uniform processes to reduce the variability. Then the third key concept is automation. So we are required to use the automation tools to implement tools to automate repetitive tasks. So if the task is being repetitive, then it should be automated. So it will indirectly increase the efficiency. Then we are required to do the integration one. So ensure seamless integration of different systems to avoid manual data entries. So we are required to ensure seamless integration of different systems to avoid manual data entry. So these are the things that we are required to understand here. Then we have got the resource management. So allocate resource efficiently. So we are required to assign resources based on workload and priority. Then the balance loads are necessary here. So we are required to distribute tasks eventually to prevent overloading specific resources. Then monitoring and evaluation. So this is one of the important concepts here that we are required to understand is monitoring and evaluation. So we are required to continuous monitoring the performance of workflows. Then we are required to take feedback loops, implement system to gather feedbacks and make adjustments. Then the second one we have is techniques for optimization. So let's start discussing. The first one is process mapping. So visual representation of workflows to identify inefficiencies and areas for improvement. So we are required to perform the visual representation of workflows to identify inefficiencies and areas for improvement. So we are required to identify the areas for the improvement. Then we have this lean principle. So we are required to eliminate waste. So remove non-value adding activities. So we will be removing these non-value adding activities. Then continuous improvement using Kaizen. So regularly review and improve processes. Then the third step that we have is the third technique we have is Six Sigma. So focus on reducing variability and detects to improve quality and efficiency. So we are required to focus on reducing variability and defects to improve quality and efficiency. Then the fourth one where we have is data analysis. So we are required to use data to make informed decision about workflow improvements. So this is one of the important concept here is that we are required to use data to make informed decision about the workflow improvements. Then we have a key metrics here. So track metrics such as cycle time, throughput, and error rates. So we are required to track these metrics, and what kind of metrics we have is the cycle time, throughput, and error rates. Then the technology utilization. So implement advanced technologies like AI and machine learning to predict and manage workflows. So we require to use the advanced technology which are very high in demand in the modern area. So to use to predict and manage workflows. Then we are required to perform the cloud computing as well. So utilize cloud resources for a scalable and flexible workflow management. Then we have some of the best practices which we are going to discuss. The first one is documentation. So keep detailed documentation of workflows and changes made for transparency and training. So we are required to keep detailed documentation of workflows and changes made for transparency and training purposes. Then training and development. So regularly train employees on new processes and tools to ensure a smooth transition and efficient usage. If you are a reporting manager, then it becomes your duty to train your employees on new process and tools to ensure a smooth transition and efficient uses. Then we have the stakeholder involvement. To involve key stakeholders in the optimization process to ensure alignment and support. Then again, we have this performance benchmarks. So set performance benchmarks to measure the success of optimization efforts. So we are required to set this performance benchmarks to measure the success of optimization effort. Then we have regular audits. So conduct regular audits of workflows to ensure they remain efficient and effective over time. And we have some of the case studies and examples. So include examples of organizations that have successfully optimized their workflow. So we can see various organizations successfully are optimizing their workflow. So we are required to use this concept, them as an example, highlighting the techniques there and the tools that they used. So we will be required to have a discussion with their employees so that we can use their concept as well for optimizing our workflow in our own organization. So let's discuss the conclusion here. So optimizing workflow performance is an ongoing process that requires continuous monitoring, evaluation, and adaptation based on the modern requirement. Then we have the ultimate goal is to create efficient, effective, and agile workflows that can adapt to changing needs and environment. So we have various changing needs and environment every year, and we can see that we are required to adapt with it. Then we have some of the additional resources around here. So there's some of the books and website, the Six Sigma toolbox by Michael, and then we have the website and tools. So by understanding and applying these concept techniques, the best practices, you can significantly enhance the performance of workflow in any organization. So this was about our optimizing workflow performance, and by using these various kind of techniques that we have seen here, we can optimize workflow performance and we can enhance its features of automating the business process. So this was all about. Thank you very much.